to have you on this track, and just to be here together right now is such a joy. So we give thanks.
I'm grateful. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. And I think maybe DJ Kamakani is also here with us. Let's bring him in. Yo.
What's up,
hey,
man?
friends.
Yeah. What's up?
How you doing?
So good.
Congratulations, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, brother.
So
Very
excited
happy
for you. Nice. Yeah, so I guess introductions are in order. My name is DJ Kamakani. I host a small radio show here in the islands called The Beautiful Emergence Radio Show on the college radio station, community radio station, KTUH, FM Honolulu, the only station that loves you. And my role here today is to interview you both about the drop of this new song. And so I'm really honored and grateful to be here with you. Also want to give a shout out to everyone who's joining in on the live stream. I am doing my best to monitor the chat. We have some friends from Madagascar joining us.
All right.
From Manila in the Philippines.
Nice.
Friends, feel free to chime in the chat where else you're joining from. Hello from Germany. Excellent. So I'll be, again, doing my best to monitor the chat. And if there's any questions, I'll do my best also to get that. Oh, the chat's blowing up now. We got G'day from Australia.
What's
said
up?
hello, but yeah. Austria in the house, Finland, France.
Nice. Europe crew's
in the
coming
house.
through.
Latvia, Scotland, Jordan, Croatia, Poland. Nice. Kathy from the USA. Kathy, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Andy from Poland. Ava from Germany. Yasha from the Netherlands. Jonas from Italy. Welcome, friends. Welcome.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's a real pleasure. So happy to be here with all of you.
Excellent. People are still, we have folks coming in from all around the world, and people are still introducing themselves in the chat. Let's talk about this song, Forward to Zion. So, Sam, Paul, maybe you can share with us what the origin of this collaboration is.
Yeah, so the song and kind of the whole album, really, the concept for the album was really inspired by Paul. You know, I was in England during the first lockdown. It was kind of a strange time. Nobody really knew what was going on, and there was a lot of confusion. And I started to listen to your album, Back to the Roots. And it just came strong, like in that moment. I'm sure I'd heard it before, but it just kind of came somehow. I don't know how it came to me. And I was listening almost every day, and it was just really sparking, igniting something inside my heart, you know, and I was just really connecting to you, even though you didn't know at the time, but I was really connecting to your, just your spirit, your soul, your, you know, just your light and your love, your presence. And it was affecting me on a deep level. And this song in particular, Forward to Zion, was inspired by your song Permaculture, because at the end you say, forward, move on, with one love we sing this song. No, that is Forward to Zion.
Now I'm thinking of your song. We're moving forward. We're moving forward, forward onto Zion, forward onto Zion, forward onto Zion, yeah.
Yes. And then somehow I think that kind of just sunk into me, you know, just hearing the song and hearing these words and this melody, and then at some point, you know, during that first lockdown, I just started to jam out this song, and the words just started to come. Moving forward to Zion. And so it kind of is this beautiful cycle, this circle, you know, that in a way, you know, you were really a big inspiration for this song and for this album to kind of come into fruition, into manifestation. And then I reached out with you and, you know, came up to Hawaii. We ended up recording the album there, and also, you know, getting you to collaborate on the track and feature on the track is, you know, for me, is just like a huge blessing and honor, you know. So, I just feel very, very blessed and very grateful. And now to see it in the world and for people to enjoy, you know, is like, such a blessing.
Mahalo for sharing, brother. Man, the blessing is mutual. Like, it's wild, the timing of you reaching out. It's because I was listening to your music a lot at the same time and feeling the same connective energy, because what you share is really resonates with where I'm at, and like connection as well. So it was really awesome when you reached out, and it just so happened I happened to baby right when you were reaching out. I was like, you're like, I'd love to come to Hawaii and make this album. I'm like, I would love for you to come to Hawaii. And I just had a baby, so I hope I can be present with you. And it really worked out so perfectly. I think it was like a month and a half after she was born. And when you reached out, I really sat with it. I was like, man, I just felt honored that you would reach out to me for inspiration for an album, because I think at the time we were just really appreciating each other's music without, you know, fully knowing the scope of that. And when you reached out, it really made me think. I was like, okay, what can I offer this brother who I really appreciate? And I'm so stoked you linked with Samʻs. I'm so stoked you linked with Kitsukomaki. There's just, you know, key brothers who have been a big part of my reggae life here in Hawaii. I was like, you gotta call these guys if you want to make a roots album. And and even Asaya, Scott, and the Mad King. It was cool to kind of just put the communication in your side, and the fact that, you know, you and Samʻs linked up and, you know, really created a synergy in birthing this album. It was really beautiful to witness, actually, because, you know, I was supporting you as much as I could as a new father, but it was so beautiful to watch you go in and out of the studio and just to start to really marinate in what this album is. And I got to like witness that whole process from you originally just reaching out saying, hey, I have an idea and I want to throw it out there. And in you doing that, you opened a whole musical world to you. And Dimitri, I want to shout out Dimitri.
I was going to say Dimitri,
Artemis Studio. It's so cool, Sam, because you were the first, that studio, the studio where Sam recorded this album. I had recorded an album there maybe 8 years ago. It was Tony Hugar, another guy's studio. But my good friend Dimitri literally had just bought this house which had the studio in it, the same studio. And Sam was the first artist to play in this studio, with it being under Dimitri, our friend. So that was cool to witness as well.
And it was a huge honor, you know, to be invited into that studio, because it was such an epic space. And it's kind of funny how it came about, because we were actually just rehearsing in there for the album, just going through the songs. We had one day, and it was just a big space. So we're like, you know, it's a good space, we can rehearse, and then we go back down to the other studio to record, which is also a great spot, but it's much smaller. And I think as we were leaving, Samʻs, who was playing drums, he was like, yeah, I mean, we could just track the drums here and then just start recording here. And Dimitri was like, well, I don't have any equipment here. I don't have any of my gear. I'd have to bring it all up. And then within like 5 minutes, he was like, okay, I'll bring all the stuff, and we'll just like move in basically to the studio. and it all just started to unfold, you know. And yeah, really, it's really been, you know, orchestrated and guided by grace, you know, like, and it's so beautiful, like you say, to witness that unfolding, you know, like when you're really coming from this place of the heart, you know, just how everything is really unfolding in that way, and just kind of all the pieces of the puzzle coming together and helping to push this thing forward. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful, feel very blessed, and yeah, very happy.
I kept feeling that while you were here recording. I was like, everything's just falling into place for this album. It's gonna be something special, you know.
True. Yes.
So beautiful to hear the behind the scenes, you know. I want to open up the chat for those who are joining in on the chat. If you have any questions for Paul or for Sam, feel free to write them in there, and I'll do my best to deliver your questions to the guys. I have a question about the song, like Forward to Zion. What message do you hope people receive from this new offering?
Yeah, I think, you know, Zion is something that we hear a lot of, especially in reggae music. You know, like Bob Marley's Zion Train is coming our way. You know, we hear this word a lot, and for me, what Zion really means or represents is really this state of harmony, of peace, of love, of care, compassion, consideration, respect, and ultimately love. You know, this is something that can be both in us, a state of inner peace and inner being, and it can also be, this world is actually Zion. This world is actually heaven. We're living in heaven, but we don't realize it. And we do so many crazy things in this world, you know, to almost make this world hell in a way, you know, can be like that. And I think for me, what this represents is we're moving forward to this space, to this place of love, of peace, of understanding, of respecting ourselves and one another, and also the earth that we live on. And just coming into a deeper harmony, you know, of you know, in a sense, like what we were saying before, of how this album came together for me was a representation of that. It was just this pure harmony, this field where everything was just flowing. And actually, you know, like my guru, my spiritual teacher would say that, you know, like when you're not in your head, when you're not in your mind, you just start to see that life is actually flowing in this beautiful harmony. And so for me, that's what Zion is. Zion is it's not necessarily a physical place, but it's more a state of being, a state of harmony within oneself, which also can manifest outwardly, you know, because I see it also in Hawaii. You know, I see when I'm in Hawaii, I feel like I'm on your farm, I'm in Zion, you know, so it can be both, you know. But I think ultimately and most importantly, it must be a state of peace and joy, contentment, happiness within oneself. And then once you find that within yourself, you start to manifest and see that outwardly, you know. And this world is really that for me as well. It's so abundant, it's so alive, it's so rich. And somehow I think we lost that connection, or we tried to conquer it and kind of build our own thing upon it, you know. And I think our generation and the ones to come are really seeking again to reconnect back to our roots, you know, back to the land, back to the earth, back to nature, and also back to the very source of life, the very core, the very womb of life itself. So that's what it means for me. And I have a feeling that maybe it's in resonance with you, Paul, but I'd love to hear from you also.
Very much so, brother. Like totally in alignment with you on all the words you just spoke. And for me, like the reason I put that lyric into the permaculture song was just that, like, is the representation of beautiful manifestation of what is possible on earth. But, you know, the whole back to the roots mentality is getting back to within, right? And awakening that. So there's such a synergy and a unique metaphor for life that happens in the garden. Like permaculture is basically harmonious living with nature, allowing all the elements and your lifestyle to kind of merge with what's happening around you. And it's such a beautiful connection that it naturally is a lift. It's naturally bringing you to places that where you feel connected. And I feel like that's why I chose to be connected in the earth and as a farmer, because you know, as everybody does, we can get cloudy in the world, and it can be a lot of narrow thoughts. But when I'm connected to Mama Earth, and when I'm putting my hands in the land, and when I'm dropping in, that's when I'm most clear. And for me, yeah, that's exactly, you know, what you're speaking. It's just getting clear within so that we can see and be present for this manifestation of what we would like to see in the world. And it's beautiful that we're witnessing that in so many ways, like just the farm you're at right now, just your backdrop with grapes growing, you know. You're in Zion, man.
Yeah. Fully.
Oh man, that's fantastic. Starseed says in the chat, wow, that's so beautiful. Love the way you explain that, Sam. And let's see, Zion Nation for all bros and sisters to share and enjoy. That comes from Sudan. Ava Nova says, the world is Zion. Love that, Sam. Beautiful.
Thank you, guys. Give thanks.
We have folks that continue to chime in from all over the world. We have a question. When do you guys come to Belgium? Kiona wants to know, when do you guys come to Belgium?
Good question. I think at some point, maybe next year. The plan is next year to do more of an extensive tour and, you know, tour all of Europe and also, you know, South America, Central America. So yeah, I don't know exactly, but at some point next year there will be, I hope there'll be a Belgium date because I've heard they have really nice chocolate. So.
Andy Monks asks, when will the album be released?
The album is gonna be released at some point fully next year. I think we're gonna drop some more singles first, and then the album will come. But we don't have a set date yet, so it's a surprise.
So stay tuned to social media, your favorite social media platforms for all the communications on that and all the latest updates. Jesse Gwynn says, imagine Sam, Paul, and Trevor Hall coming together for a collaboration.
Nice.
Yeah, that would
be epic. I think we'd all love that.
Definitely.
And then someone else chimed in. Let's add Mike Love in. I'm sorry, whoever put that comment, but keep the comments coming in the chat. All suggestions.
Love Mike too.
Yeah. That'll be a nice session.
We have Jonas asked, when you come to Italy?
So at some point next year. Yeah.
And there's one more question here that I wanted to share. I want to give voice to who asked the question, though. Somebody asked, here we go. Soul Soother Yoga asks, how can we create our own Zion? That's a big question. I'll put that out there for each of you, whoever wants to take a first crack at it.
Again, I think it depends, you know, like we each create Zion by, in my experience, it's like we create Zion by really being true to ourselves. When we're really true and we listen to the heart and we let spirit, we let God, we let the sacred and the divine lead us in this lifetime, then you're already in Zion. Zion is here, you know, and we're naturally going to be creating that from that place. You know, the more open we are to life, the more life can communicate with us. It can work with us. The more that we have our own agenda and, you know, we're kind of more up here in our mind, then we kind of get cut off from life somehow. We're never really cut off from life because we are life, but it would seem like that. And so my feeling is more and more that we're able to stay open in our hearts, stay true to who we are. Then naturally, you know, wherever you go, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna become a farmer like Paul or a musician, or, you know, it can look at so many diverse ways, you know. So it's really just finding out, you know, what is it for you, and letting it come naturally. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to even be something so great, something so big. Sometimes it can feel like, you know, wow, but how do we achieve this? How do we do this? But in little ways, you know, each day, every day, you know, smiling at somebody in the street or holding the door for somebody, you know, just like showing kindness, showing love is already, that to me is Zion, you know, it's that love. So it really can come and manifest in so many ways. And we can create Zion in so many ways. So yeah, always listen to your heart, never be afraid, never be ashamed of who you are, and you know, just do your best wherever you can, you know, and don't be ashamed or feel bad if you fall down or you make mistakes. You know, it's all part of the learning of life. So
Beautifully said, Sam. Yes, that authenticity of coming from the heart, so that things can, manifest for you. And I think to each their own, you know, in the journey of that. And I love witnessing that the more open we are, we start to attract people who are also open in their own ways, that have different skill sets. And, you know, I might be a farmer, but to have like a woodworker friend down the road, you know, to have, you know, these different folks who are honoring themselves and following a unique path, we start to weave. This weaving that happens, and it's very mysteriously, it's just beautiful in a mysterious way, and how that unfolds for each of us.
Really, really beautifully said, both of you. And we built this as a listening party.
yeah, let's get into it. Let's do this.
This song is so amazing. So let's get, as beautiful as these stories have been, and as beautiful as it has been to give voice to some of the questions coming in from the chat and connect with all of you who are tuning in. This song is just so good for the soul. And Sam, along with the song, you are also launching your merch shop. Can you give us, it's been so fun. I'm repping it here. This is
I was going to say, which you are nicely representing. Yeah.
And here, let's see if we can get the full.
Get the full shebang. Yeah, give us a twirl.
Over to Zion, yeah, man.
Forward. Yeah, so we've been also working on some merch, you know, for you guys. So there's going to be a whole range of things that you can check out. And I think there's going to be a link in the YouTube video description where you can click on that and you can check out what's available, t-shirts and bags and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I'm super excited. It's my first ever merch, so I'm very, very excited to have it out. So yes.
It's been really fun watching and working with you, and just the care and intentionality that you've put into the designs. And this is just the first design of many to come. So I'm really excited for what's in store. And Paul, I've always appreciated how intentional you are with the sourcing. And can you speak a little bit to your merch as well and your approach?
Yeah, you know, it's very important for me because I'm an organic farmer and I want to practice what I preach. So yeah, I'm usually looking at different companies that have organic material and trying to go local with different people who are printing. But at the same time, a lot of my merch too also comes from the farm. So we have dried turmeric, dried bananas. What else do we have right now? Mamaki tea. So yeah, and you can find that at our farm is yogardenhawaii.com for our farm goodies, and my website Paul Isaac Music for my other merch.
Nice, and I've just dropped both of those links in the chat there as well, so you can find and explore Sam's merch, brand new merch store to celebrate Forward to Zion, and Paul's offerings as well from Yogarden. So
Let's do that.
yeah, if that's what I'm feeling. All right, okay. So Daniel, let's.
Forward we go.
Moving forward to Zion. Moving forward to Zion. Moving forward to Zion. Moving forward to Zion. Oh, people rise up and take a stand. Don't let the devil lead you by the head. We're marching over to the promised land, and Zion gates are open to everyone. No more fear or trouble, no more lies. This is a time for love and equal rights. So let your spirit soar and let in the light. Oh, we are all your children, hear us crying. Oh, they don't want us to go now. Oh, but our garden it shall grow, growing mighty and strong. Yeah. For here we all belong in Zion, moving forward to Zion. Moving forward to Zion. Moving forward to Zion.
Load them up.
We can manifest what we want to see. Feel it in the moment, it's our destiny. It is what we make it. We've got to take it higher to the highest height. So keep singing and dancing, praying and chanting, planting the seeds for the next generation. Open up your hearts, it's a celebration. Forward, move on. With one love we sing this song. Go forward, move on. With one love we sing this song. With one love we sing this song. Yes, yeah. But they don't want us to go now. Oh, but our garden it shall grow. It's growing mighty and strong. For here we all belong in Zion, moving forward to Zion. Yeah. Moving forward to Zion. We're moving forward to Zion. Yeah, time to live it up, children. Oh, live it up now, children. Live it up now. Oh, live it up now, children. Live it up now. Oh, live it up now, children. Live it up now. Oh, live it up now, children. No. Yeah. Oh, live it up now, children. Live it up.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Nice.
Man.
Good vibes all around.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
mahalo,
Congratulations
nui.
for releasing that into the world, and phew.
Yes. And this is also my feeling was like, after these times of lockdown and being so separated, it's time for this vibration, this upful vibration, this celebration of life, So this is really also my intention with this album and with this song. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that on all counts.
Yes. Give thanks.
Oh,
Sam, who
DJ Kamakani.
mixed the album? Who mixed the song?
Oh, his name is Leon Marley Itzler. He's a good friend of mine from London. And he mixed the whole album, mixed the song. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
I
very
shout out
talented.
to Leon.
Yeah, big shout out to Leon.
Big time. I love hearing, from being in the studio, hearing it in the headphones, jamming, but then to hear the dynamics through the mixing process, what happens. So much happens in the mixing process. And to bring dynamics to the song, like taking out certain parts or adding in certain parts to really get it to flow. Yeah, Leon did a great job.
Bringing it to life, really, Like you're adding all the elements, but then it's like that's what makes a really good chef, is that you can put all the ingredients together, but it's making them taste nice. So yeah, big shout out to Leon. Give thanks, brother. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I give big shout out to everybody that has joined us in the chat and hung out with us for the listening party from all around the world.
Yeah.
Mahalo nui. And mahalo to you, Paul. You and I go way back, and I just have so much appreciation and love for you, man.
Yeah.
Wherever you bring it, and it's all heart. And thank you so much.
I want to say something actually, because Core Design came from the song Permaculture. Matt here, DJ Kamakani, he came to the Hawaiian Islands and brought this concept called Permablitz to Hawaii at a time when I was building backyard gardens. And he inspired me to continue doing that and others continue doing that, which became a thing here in Hawaii called Permablitz Hawaii, which it continues.
Yeah, man.
Big props back to you, for keeping that permaculture mentality.
Come into your backyard.
It's another song coming up. Yeah, man. Permablitz is a global movement, and actually, thank you, Paul, for bringing that in. Its origins go to Melbourne, Australia, which is where some of my roots are from. And Dan Palmer, who actually was one of the guys that basically created the first Permablitz that has become this global phenomenon. He's recently passed away. I was really saddened to learn that. He's graduated, he's transitioned, he's crossed over to the other side. He's in Zion already, and he's just such a beautifully humble example of how small, simple actions can change the world, especially at these times. And so, so much love and appreciation for you, Paul, and for you, Sam. Paul's the connection. He's the agent why we've been able to work together, and I'm so looking forward to where our journeys take us next. Much love to you both.
I also just want to give a big shout out to Luke, who is the one who designed and helped me and put all the merch together. So big shout out to Luke, and also Daniel, who nobody can see right now, but he's behind the scenes. Big shout out to Daniel. We love you, brother. And just big shout out to everybody actually that's been involved in this whole project and made it come to fruition, to reality. So big love to all of you. You know who you are. And
I was thinking when we were playing.
Yes, Reggie and Arthur.
Yeah, man. The horns added a lot in that.
Yeah.
Those sections.
Yeah. Big love to those brothers, and thank you to all of you for all your support, for supporting conscious music. And yeah, we love you. We're with you all the way, and we look forward to playing live together to some point in the future for all of you. So yeah, big love.
Big shout out to all the brothers and sisters, humans and non-humans, all the beings who are tuned in to us. Watch this space. There's more to come. I'm gonna tee up a closing question for you both. What's next? What can we expect next from Sam Garrett, Paul Isaac, and friends?
Well, definitely touring. For me, that's an important one. Is the next year to come is there's going to be a lot more touring, and also just releasing more of these songs, into the world, and just spreading the good vibrations in the world. So that's really my intention and my mission is just to see the highest thing and to just sing and dance and remember how beautiful and sacred this life really is. So we're going to be doing a lot more of that for sure.
Yeah, more music. It's beautiful to see it happening more, festivals are happening again, more gathering. I think people have been really hungry for it, and that this past couple of years was just a reminder of how important music is for our healing process, as well as for community and gathering and just appreciating life, and everything has its mysterious lessons, and I think that's what we're realizing, the importance of this now, and to celebrate being alive, to celebrate everything that we have, our families, our friends, and give thanks for the musicians who are bringing it through in the way that you are so beautifully, Sam. Just the reminders of present moment living and moving forward.
And there may be a little Hawaii tour, but just maybe. And then
Yep.
That feels like a beautiful place to leave it, friends. Thanks for everybody who's tuned in. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Paul.
Mahalo, you guys. Love you, brother.
thank you, everyone. Bless up. Yeah, love you guys. Big love to everyone. Bless you. Have a beautiful day, evening, wherever you may be. Full love.
Aloha.